Everyone, and welcome to another top 5 records video. And today I'm going to be talking about one of the big heroes from the world of blues. I'm talking about Muddy Waters. And Muddy Waters is one of the artists that drew me to blues, and I'll tell that anecdote later on in the video. But he is one of the big guys, one of the chess label treasures, one of the Chicago legends. And he had a very interesting career with a lot of very, very great songs, but also some very good, unexpected albums. So, what are his 5 best albums? Well, I'm going to kick it off with this one. At number 5, Electric Mud. This was recorded in the early 70s, and there was this revival in the world of rock and roll. They were looking at the old blues heroes with an idea of, we should give them more of a stage. It were days when I believe Muddy Waters and Chuck Berry and Howlin' Wolf even got a chance to go to London and do some London sessions. Some of them even working with the Rolling Stones on the Rolling Stones label. They were cherishing their heroes, and the record companies were looking for a way to push their old blues legends to do something for the youngsters, youth. I don't like the word youngsters. I wonder why I said it. Now, this album got a lot of critique back in the day. Why? Well, you hear that it is. I'm just showing you the inner sleeve. I'm not sure why I do that, but I just felt the urge. Now, you can hear on this record that Muddy Waters, I'm not sure if he's looking for a new sound, but that he's trying to reach a new audience. There are psychedelic elements there. The name of the record, Electric Mud, it really reminds me of this scene in the Johnny Cash film in which they try to convince him that he should do an electric record. Because they say, yeah, well, even Bob Dylan went electric, and then Johnny Cash says, no, I'm going to go into prison, play in prison. As if going electric was a hype and that everyone should go electric. Though, now, there is definitely a change in the sound here. There is an influence of hippiness here. And I think it's awesome to hear Muddy Waters experiment with that. There are, of course, some of his really famous older songs. Hoochie Coochie Man, Let's Spend the Night Together. I thought that was a Rolling Stones song. I'm a Man. Love that song. They are counting in seconds. I'm a Man is 201 seconds on this record. And there is overall this early 70s vibe here. I love it. It's not that he really reinvented himself. It is an artist who's trying to reach a young audience. But he is so deeply rooted that this step is not a betrayal. It is an interesting step, puts him into a different light. And Muddy Waters nails it with Electric Mud at number 5. At number 4, a live album. Muddy Waters at Newport. This is often regarded as one of the great live albums. It's also part of the 1001 albums you must hear before you die book. I love it. It gives you a unique insight into the vibe and the live sound of Muddy Waters. It's recorded in 1960, opening with I Got My Brand on You, then you get I'm Your Hoochie Coochie Man, Baby Please Don't Go, and ending off side 1 with Got a Tiger in Your Tank, and side 2 has Got My Mojo Working. And this to me really showed not the down and out blues. This is not a down and out blues about misery. No, this is closer to the vibe and the feel of rock and roll, though still really bluesy. It's a different side of blues. It's this young, vibrant element of the blues, a little bit daring, taking risks with lyrics, and there's a playfulness. Tiger in Your Tank, I Got My Mojo Working. It's actually a record with just drowning in sexual innuendos. I really like that. It is a powerful, lovable live album. At number 4, Muddy Waters at Newport. Also, in 1979, he did this gorgeous other live album, which is often overlooked. I was really struggling to get that in, but I was in doubt. I was thinking, number three, it's either this studio album from the same era or the Mississippi Waters live album. And I love it, but it's an honorable mention now. You'll love it. But at number three, I'm putting this. Hard again. Should I mention the sexual innuendo again? No, I'm not going to mention the sexual innuendo. Opening this with Manish Boy. Well, an old, deeply rooted, yeah, legendary Muddy Waters song. Nevertheless, the way he does it here might make it my favorite recording of that song. Although he is growing older, and it's obvious he is showing you his aging, there's also something fascinating about his aging. Muddy Waters ages like wine. He becomes very exciting. I was a bit, how can I say this? When I bought this, I was not sure because I saw his performance in the concert film The Last Waltz, filmed by Martin Scorsese about the band, and they invited him over to do a song. And actually, nobody was thinking, he's old stuff, we might not tape it, but one of the cameras was still rolling. And then Scorsese thought, yeah, he's doing a pretty great job. But during that performance, I thought, yeah. I'm not sure if his albums after this are worthwhile. I was really in doubt. Well, he is. He did come back. Hard Again is really hard. Not so hard. It's tough. Not so tough. I'm struggling with the innuendos. It's an incredible comeback. He's powerful. He is strong. He is a blues legend, and this is one of his great albums. At number three, Hard Again. At number two, this is something I recently fell in love with. It is Muddy Waters sings Big Bill, and I have a Dutch pressing here, which has a slightly different title. But Muddy Waters sings the songs of Big Bill Broonzy. Now, this is his first studio album, though not his first album release. Before this, he actually had a best-of album because in the 40s and 50s, he made a lot of singles and songs for radio on a chess label. So he actually had a big hits before a normal studio album, which is nice. This is his first real studio album, and with his first studio album, he pays homage to the man who taught him his craft. Actually, I'd like to quote the backside of this album. This is a beautifully written piece. I'm not going to read it all out loud. I'm just going to take a fragment of it. It is altogether fitting and proper that Muddy Waters sings the blues of Big Bill. Often he fabled Broonzy spoke of the younger man in most respectful terms. Muddy, Bill would say, he can really sing the blues. I mean the country, wide open blues. He ain't like those pretty boy singers who dress up the blues so you don't know what it is. He ain't one of those satisfied singers. How can you sing the blues when you're satisfied? The blues is unsatisfied singing, hollering, shouting, crying, getting mad. That's the blues. Oh yeah, Muddy's a real singer of the blues. Of Big Bill's 360 blues, give or take a couple dozen, Muddy has chosen to interpret 10. Perhaps it should be pointed out that Muddy, Nee McKinley Morganfield, comes from Bill's home state, Mississippi. Like Big Bill, he too worked the cotton fields. He too knew of the back-breaking labor, the soft evenings on the porch, and the laughter outside the general store. So it is that the open-voiced shouting, so much a part of Big Bill's blues, comes naturally to Muddy Waters. That says it all. A beautiful, brilliant, short review of what's going on this album. I recently bought this. This is a Dutch pressing. It has the British mono stampers. It's an audiophile treat. It is Such a great recording. It's such a vibrant Chicago blues. It is a real different Muddy Waters than the number one spot, than the Muddy Waters you'll hear on the live album I was talking about, than the Muddy Waters from Hard Again. This is Chicago blues, the way I always imagined it would sound, and the entirety of this album, all 17 or no 72, 27, 28 minutes of it are pure, gorgeous, beautifully performed, well balanced, lovable blues. It's, to me, one of the ultimate blues albums. Muddy Waters sings Big Bill Broonzy. You'll love it. Hunt it down. First US pressings are very expensive, but the Dutch one, the UK one, these are very good alternatives. I love it. At number 2, Muddy Waters sings Big Bill Broonzy. Number 1, one of the old-time audiophile favorites, the one that started all for me, Folksinger. When I got into audiophile records, a friend of mine bought the 45 RPM analog productions of this, and I was staying over at his place. We drank way too much beer, played this record now and then in the evening, and then early in the morning it was in Haarlem. And in Haarlem, in the Netherlands, you have a beautiful sunrise above the incredible big church, which can be seen from almost all over the town. And the sunlight was coming through the curtains. I opened the curtains, and there was this fog. There was a Sunday fog that I'll never forget, with a big shiny sun going through it. And I put this record on and poured me a cup of coffee. And to me, that is the ideal Sunday morning moment. Opening with My Home is the Delta, and the way he plays this guitar, the way the guitar is part of the scenery, is part of that moment, is part of the porch. You see the porch. Such sincere beauty. The way his voice sounds. This calm ease. A very unique voice. So much quality. It is a stunning album. It has Buddy Guy on guitar. It has Willie Dixon on bass. Songs written by Willie Dixon, like My Captain. A Sonny Boy Williamson song, Good Morning Schoolgirl. It is an overall vibe that makes it one of the core blues albums. A masterpiece. I love it. At number 1, Muddy Waters, Folksinger. So I'm curious, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below and I'll see you in my next video.